Analyst. I'm joined now by Priyanka Chaturvedi. She's a Rajya Sabha member from the ShivSena and leader of the party. Thank you so much, Priyanka, for speaking with us today on Beyond the Headline on what is definitely a big day for your party. Let me begin by asking you, how important is this Bombay High Court order for your party? What is the significance of it for you?
So firstly, I welcome the High Court decision that they have ensured that justice prevails and that truth is supreme. What they have done through this order is very clear because they have given a very detailed order where they have said that what BMC was doing, BMC's rejection was purely an abuse of power and had no legal point of view to stand upon. The second thing they've done is to reject the petition coming from Sada Sarvankar, who's part of the Eknath Shinde camp, who go on to claim that they are the real ShivSena. They've effectively shut down all those arguments, rejected their claims, rejected their petition, and has given permission to us. The significance of it is, I can tell you, that over the past 7 decades, we have been holding the Dussehra rally there. When Bala Saheb Thackeray ji used to address the humongous party karyakartas as well as people across the state, it was followed by Shri Uddhav Bala Saheb Thackeray. The High Court has categorically said that the right to have the rally belongs to ShivSena led by Uddhav Bala Saheb Thackeray and has rejected all these false claimants to Bala Saheb's legacy, to the ShivSena and to the Hindutvavadi soch that we move forward with, to the Maharashtravadi soch that we work on and the party that we are.
So, do you think it's given you now the right to say that you are the political claimants of Bala Saheb Thackeray's legacy of the ShivSena, because this is something in court right now, isn't it?
Shot in the arm, yes, but I must tell you that our party leader was very clear that this is going to be a fight till the end. It could be a slow process, but truth shall prevail. And we have all been diligently working towards ensuring that constitution, democracy, and the morality of how nations are run, political parties are run, are held supreme. So whether it is through the Supreme Court process that we are following, whether it is through the Election Commission process, or whether it was the High Court, by today's statement, which the High Court has said, Justice Dhanuka has said, that this was clear abuse of power by the BMC. None of these statements that are coming from either the High Court, the Supreme Court, or the Election Commission state anything otherwise as far as the party is concerned. So it is going to be a hard-drawn battle. And like you said, he's going to be the chief minister for some time. And I would just add, briefly for some time. So it's going to a brief period that he is there for till the time Supreme Court doesn't take a decision and Election Commission doesn't decide, Supreme Court rather, and victory will be ours, and we will continue to fight for the truth.
You know, but in the interim, Ms. Chaturvedi, more and more people are joining the Shinde faction. Does that worry you?
I don't know, Tamanna, where you're getting your information from with regards to more and more people joining that faction. Because that's totally incorrect, untrue. And perhaps you all haven't been following the rallies of Sri Aditya Thackeray and the kind of crowds that he is pulling in and the kind of promise that is coming from the people of Maharashtra that they will teach this kind of trait of behavior from Eknath Shinde ji a lesson. Perhaps you've also missed out the arrogance that is reeking from the party which is in power right now, however briefly, where the son, Chief Minister's son, without being an elected representative of the assembly, is sitting on the Chief Minister's chair, throwing all norms to the wind, throwing all basic courtesies to the wind, basic constitutional principles to the wind. So I would not want to get into this is looking politically bleak. I think this is one of the most motivating, mobilizing factor for every ShivSainik that we need to work hard, get together and teach them a lesson. So there is no, people rushing out of the party. The cadre firmly stands behind.
I'll tell you what I'm talking about. No, Priyanka, since, you've asked me, maybe you don't know, I'll tell you what exactly I'm talking about. So about 2 weeks ago, over 12 out of 15 state chiefs joined the Shinde camp. This was widely reported. Over about a week ago, you had a prominent Thane leader who joined the Shinde camp. So there are leaders who used to be followers of Uddhav Thackeray who are now joining the Shinde camp. That's a fact.
Let me also correct you that before the split also happened, all these state leaderships that you're talking about, 15 of 19, is a narrative that is coming from Eknath Shinde's camp. This is not the truth on the ground. All the state units were dissolved. So there are no card bearers. Let me be very clear. So I will not be able to challenge every narrative that is being pushed through the Shinde faction to try and build their narrative and for media to carry it forward. But the truth is that all these state units were dissolved much before the split happened. So these are not office bearers. These are people who claim to be office bearers. And we can't go individually challenging every single person because it makes for good news stories or good TRPs for Mr. Shinde's camp. I'm not going to get into that. All I'd say is that the party cadre who has risen through the ranks in the party are standing firmly behind Uddhav Sahab Thackeray. Mumbai High Court decision is of the truth, and that truth has prevailed, that justice may be delayed but not denied, and we will continue to keep fighting for this truth with all the vigor, with all the strength that we all collectively have put together to fight this out in the Supreme Court and the Election Commission.
So now, okay, this has been a victory, one legal victory. You will have the rally at, Shivaji Park on the 5th of October. But then the real next big fight is the BMC elections, isn't it? The source of power, so to speak, for the ShivSena. And there have been very strong statements from Uddhav Thackeray about how crucial these elections are. Very strong statements from Amit Shah also reported. How confident are you about the BMC elections?
You know, Mr. Amit Shah in Gujarat, he had made this claim during last Gujarat Assembly elections that they would cross a figure of 120 plus. They did not even cross the double digits. This is a state that they have been winning every 5 years. He went to West Bengal and he said 200 plus. And we all saw what the reality is. Now BMC, now coming to BMC, some really harsh, crude, rude language was used, which I will definitely never fall down to or stoop down to respond to the kind of words that emerged through sources in his, address to his party workers. But all we can say is people of Mumbai do not appreciate this kind of language, do not appreciate the kind of words that were spoken. And I have said this earlier, I will continue to repeat it. And it was, I'm very certain on your channel where I said, the question that will be asked to the BJP is, where were they when Mumbai was going through COVID? Where were they when Mumbai was struggling for vaccines? Where were they when we were trying within ourselves to manage to get the oxygen supply?
Yeah. So now coming back to the rally, the big question for the average Mumbaiker, and I know this is about politics and reclaiming your political space, etc. But for the average Mumbaiker, the question is that how are we going to ensure there is law and order and peace on the 5th of October, especially with 2 rallies taking place? How do we know it will be peaceful?
You know, Tamanna ji, when the split happened, the narrative on television channels was like the violence will hit the streets. Mumbaikars will suffer. Every single day I was listening to that. Did you see something like that coming from ShivSena? You did not. And as far as Uddhavji is concerned, he is very clear that there is going to be no violence. The law and order which perhaps the BMC feared was from people like Sada Sarvankar, who used their pistol to shoot out inside a police station during the Ganpati celebration. So the real goons are the ones who are petitioning the High Court, have been emphatically rejected, slapped on their faces by the Mumbai High Court. And law and order, let me remind you, law and order is the responsibility of the state government, and they're duty bound, whether it is the Mumbai police, whether it is Maharashtra police, whether it is the Home Minister of the state, whether it is Chief Minister of the state, that they will manage the law and order situation. No law and order will be disturbed, has never been disturbed in the past 7 decades of our rally, will not be disturbed in this rally either. But if they try to mess around, the whole and sole responsibility of that would be of the Home Minister of the state and the Chief Minister of the state and likes of Sada Sarvankar, who keep putting their writ petitions and getting slapped on their faces.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, Priyanka Chaturvedi, for joining us today on the show. So the ShivSena leader, talking about how this is an important day for them. It's a shot in the arm for them. But will it be enough? Rahul Chandvarkar, senior journalist, joining me now on the show. Varun Singh, senior journalist on the show. I'm also speaking with Lokesh, Jindal, political analyst. Welcome to all of you, and thank you so much for speaking with us. Rohit, great to have you back on the show. About 3 months after that first wave of turbulence hit, and we reported on it quite closely. Do you think that this is the turning point for Uddhav Thackeray, or is too much being made of one speech on one day at one specific location?
It is true. Too much is being made out of this. It's just a permission given for one rally. Okay, I mean, it's. Let's not make a mountain out of a mole. But point is, the significance of Shivaji Park for the Marathi Manus, which is the key constituency for ShivSena. What is Shivaji Park for your national audience? We need to understand that it's the place where Sachin Tendulkar practiced when he was a teenager. Vinod Kambli played cricket. It's a place where many national cricketers played. It's a place where Lata Mangeshkar's funeral happened. It's a place where Barasaheb Thackeray held many of his rallies, and very successful rallies with a gathering of close to 1.5 lakh people or more, perhaps 2 lakhs sometimes. So that significance, that emotional connect to Shivaji Park that the Marathi Manus has, ShivSena wants to capitalize on that. And this is kind of a minor victory for them. I'm stressing on the word minor. This is a minor victory for them because they have been waiting and waiting for the Supreme Court to decide which is the real ShivSena, and High Court has.
I'll tell you what, Rohit, think of it in reverse. If they had not got Shivaji Park for the Dussehra rally, it would have been a massive defeat, wouldn't it? It would be a further blow.
Yeah. Yes. So it's a minor. I'm stressing on the word minor. Temporary, minor kind of a victory, judicial victory that they have scored. Of course, the real thing is pending in Supreme Court, and it will take a lot of time. Coming to the next point, the Eknath Shinde faction, backed by Devendra Fadnavis and BJP, today kind of was reluctant to comment on this. You might have observed because I saw all the reactions, and they have distanced themselves. Point number 2, very important. Point number 2 is that, I mean, they have distanced themselves, and they are now saying that this was the BMC's decision to not allow ShivSena, and somebody went to court against it, and the court has decided against the BMC elections, the BMC decision, and they are distancing themselves, saying we don't have anything to do with this. So this is, the key word here is intimidation, right? I mean, Eknath Shinde faction backed by BJP just wanted to cause some kind of an intimidation, some kind of an anxiety in the Uddhav Thackeray camp for a few days, and it's almost like they had decided that that they will withdraw at some point and say that this was BMC's decision and the court has stuck it down. We don't have a problem. They don't want, Tamanna, important point, third point, they don't want to obstruct Uddhav Thackeray from going to Shivaji Park because that will cause a massive sympathy wave for Uddhav Thackeray in Mumbai. Viewers and analysts and everything have to, all of them have to understand this. They can't block Uddhav Thackeray from going to Shivaji Park on a Dussehra day. That will cause a massive sympathy wave, which they didn't want to do.
But the petition in court attempted to do exactly that. It was, if you look at what the legal process was, and I think that's interesting to understand the process. The legal process was the ShivSena going to the Bombay High Court against the BMC's order, and then Sada Sarvankar coming in to intervene and saying that they're going to use this. They're going to use this as an opportunity to say we are the real Sena.
So the key point now that all of your viewers and all of you and all journalists like us have to watch is whether the Shinde faction goes to Supreme Court on this, okay? Because there have been conflicting messages coming from the Shinde faction, and I am following all of that. Some of them are saying we are going to Supreme Court. Devendra Fadnavis has given a statement. saying, okay, the court has decided, it's over, and let ShivSena go ahead. Shinde faction will hold a rally somewhere else or whatever. The key point now is whether Shinde faction, which has still 5, 6, 7, 8 days to decide whether they appeal against this High Court decision in Supreme Court. My guess is, pure guess, it might go wrong, they will not do it because they'll hold their rally somewhere else. They'll hold their rally somewhere else, maybe BKC or whatever. And they don't want to hurt Uddhav Thackeray beyond a point. They just want to intimidate him. That's what they have done, and they have caused the damage so far.
So the damage has been done.
That's the brief of what is damage has been done.
Damage has been done.
That's the long and short of it, basically. That's it.
Let me get Varun Singh in. Varun Singh, shot in the arm today. You heard Priyanka Chaturvedi. She's saying it's a slap in the face of those who are claiming to be the actual ShivSena. This proves we are the real ShivSena, and that is the position that they're taking.
Priyanka Chaturvedi is too intelligent. To comment something on her would be, I don't know what to say. Someone who says that the BJP in Gujarat couldn't even pass double digit and it is in power. I simply do not understand. When the petition was against the BMC said we are not going to give permission to either of the camp. The court just decided first come, first serve basis, and they gave it to Uddhav Thackeray camp. And let me tell you, the Shinde camp hasn't sought permission at MMRDA in BKC to hold a rally. It is for parking of vehicles. So if on 5th of October, there's going to be one rally in Mumbai, and that is going to be Shivaji Park. Rohit ji has correctly pointed out, the intimidation thing.
Varun, are you from Mumbai?
Yes, I'm from Mumbai.
You're saying people will park, 1 minute, you're saying people will park in BKC and go to Shivaji Park?
No, let me tell you. So this is not what I'm saying. No, Tamanna, let me finish it. I'm not saying this.
Do you know the distance from BKC to Dadar?
No, you're not getting my point. That is the official statement of Shinde camp's spokesperson. They say that we didn't book the ground at MMRDA for holding a rally. We booked it for parking the vehicles. People would come, they would drop at Shivaji Park, the vehicles would go to Bandra and they would be parked there, and after the rally, they would come and pick them up. This is
from
the
Shivaji
official
Park
statement.
To Bandra. 1 minute, 1 minute. I have Uday Saman's bite. I have Uday Saman's bite. 1 minute. Only, we cannot make unrefuted claims. Uday Saman's soundbite. He's a minister. Let's just listen to what he said. Let's just play that out.
जो कुछ निकाल हुआ है न्यायमूर्ति के तरफ से उसका पूरा स्टडी करना चाहिए, वकील से बात करके बाद में ही बोलना उचित रहेगा, इसलिए जो निकाल हुआ है उसका पूरा स्टडी करेंगे और बाद में बोलेंगे। लेकिन शिवसेना किसकी है? तो शिवसेना वंदनीय बाला साहब की है और जो वंदनीय बाला साहब का विचार आगे लेके जा रहा है उसकी है, इसलिए शिवसेना जो सच्ची है वो शिंदे साहब की है।
All right. We'll try and pull out the part where he's talking about where he's talking about that I am going to hold a rally at MMRDA. You have to understand the geography. You have to understand the geography of the city.
Tamanna, let me tell you a simple thing. This is not what I am saying. I am a journalist. I have been following up since afternoon, since the time this thing came out. And I spoke to even Sada Sarvankar. I spoke to Kiran Pavaskar. Kiran Pavaskar is the official spokesperson. It is his comment that they want Shivaji Park. They are consulting the lawyers right now. And by tomorrow morning, they will come out with whether to go to Supreme Court or not. Sada Sarvankar was non-committal. And what I said about the parking thing is their statement, not mine. They say that they didn't book MMRDA ground for holding a rally. They want Shivaji Park, and that is the reason Sada Sarvankar filed an intervention plea. Secondly, I'm saying that what I can see right now over the political happenings over here, we may not see two different rallies in Mumbai on 5th of October. There could be only one rally. And the main agenda of the BJP and the Shinde camp was to make or work up Uddhav Thackeray, which actually they have succeeded in doing it. And there cannot be any sympathy wave that they can afford to give to Uddhav Thackeray just before the BMC election to let him say that, see, they came to power, they took away the only thing that I had, and that is holding a rally in Shivaji Park, which his father has been doing for a long time. I have attended almost all the rallies before the COVID. And I tell you that just gathering people over there doesn't mean that it will be a vote for them. Raj Thackeray has held massive rallies over there in Shivaji Park, which I have covered on several occasions. But those crowds do not turn out into votes over here. And this we need to understand. Right now, you rightly pointed out to Priyanka Chaturvedi also that out of 15, 12 people have, 12 state chiefs have joined. They are still in a denial.
She's saying they were already sacked. She's saying they were already sacked. So
is there an official order?
1 minute, Lokesh Jindal.
No, there is no
1 minute,
order
Lokesh Jindal. Is this a shot in the arm or is this not a shot in the arm for Uddhav Thackeray?
Tamanna, usually when we are considering such events, we ignore the Karyakarta and we give too much importance to the leaders. A political party always comprises of Karyakarta and the leaders. Now this Mahavikas Aghadi government that was toppled, it was due to loopholes in the anti-defection law and the unethical practices. So they were able to get the leaders to their side, but not the Karyakartas. Now this event of the Shivaji Park of Dussehra is where all the Karyakartas they come. And there is again the revival of the same emotional bond that exists within ShivSena. So it is a resurgence of that ShivSena which was held during the time period of Balasaheb Thackeray. And let me tell you, it's a major victory. Now the Karyakartas, now these political leaders...
I don't know, Lokesh, whether you're from Mumbai or not, but Karyakartas didn't even turn up on the streets when Uddhav Thackeray had to resign.
Please let me say mine.
Guys, 1 minute. Varun, he listened to you. And you will get a response.
Sure.
Okay.
So when we talk about the ShivSena and the Karyakartas, we saw them rejoicing and they welcomed the High Court's decision. And it is going to send a message, a signal to all the Karyakartas, who their leader is, who the actual ShivSena is. And it is going to see, there will be further trouble for the Eknath Shinde camp. They will have a difficult time reaching out to the Karyakartas because the Karyakartas knew what exactly led to the toppling of the Mahavikas Aghadi government.
No, the question is that will one rally be enough? Varun Singh says it's not. Varun Singh says many people come to Raj Thackeray's rally. He's not really doing great politically either.
It's a major win for Uddhav Thackeray. It's a major
win. Yes, Varun. Your response, Varun.
Let me tell you, High Court was not judging which is real ShivSena or which isn't. The High Court was just judging on a simple fact of BMC saying that there could be a law and order situation, police saying there could be a law and order situation.
But Varun, you must admit it's important. Otherwise, Sadaf Sarvankar would have not gone.
What is important is...
Shinde camp, no, 1 minute. Varun, just to understand.
Woke up late.
Did they go to the BMC and say we want to have a rally at ShivSena at Shivaji Park or not?
But they went, right? But
they went. So they've shown intent. They've shown intent.
Absolutely, they have shown intent. But the problem over here is ShivSena of Uddhav Thackeray camp had applied already. They went late over there, and it is actually a failure. You know, BMC is run by the Urban Development Department. Eknath Shinde holds Urban Development Department. He should have, and the ShivSena of Shinde camp should have realized that Dussehra rally is coming in. They should have applied first. But lucky this time Uddhav Thackeray gang which actually
refuse.
Which ShivSena refused? Why BMC refused to both of them, Baba. They didn't only refuse to Shinde camp or Uddhav camp.
BMC is right now under the government. Why did it refuse? Why is
it refused to both of them, citing Mr. Lokesh, the BMC refused, citing that law and order situation based on the Mumbai police report that law and order situation can arise, and that is the reason they refused to both of them.
It could have enhanced the police protection. It could have made further arrangements for it.
So वही तो court ने बोला ना भाई. That is what court has said.
1 minute. Who comes first to take permissions and who comes second? I think we're going into minutiae and we're missing the point. I think we can all agree that holding the Dussehra rally at Shivaji Park is important in the fight to claim the ShivSena's legacy. Correct? Everyone agrees on that. In that sense, Uddhav Thackeray, you can say, has got some relief or a big victory or a shot in the arm. You can use whatever words. We're all journalists. We're free to use as many adjectives as we want. The question is, what next? Rahul Chandvarkar, isn't the real battle still in the Supreme Court? And that's the one who gets the symbol, who gets to say, I'm the ShivSena? And who wins the BMC election?
Yes, the real battle is in the future, and there are many battles. This is just a minor victory, about this Dussehra rally, which is fine. The next big battle is not just Mumbai, but also Pune and many other 14 municipal corporations that go to polls.
Yes.
And
yes.
What happens there, whether Shinde is able to hold his group together and what result he produces. That is one. After that, perhaps the Supreme Court decision will come. That is another big battle, and that will also go on for a long time, I think. And the third, of course, is going to be the next assembly, and before that, the Lok Sabha election in Maharashtra, because that's just less than 2 years away now, 2024 May. So, there are going to be many battles, I think. And this is just the beginning of it, and one minor victory that has been scored by Uddhav faction today. We should, keep our eyes on what is happening in the constituencies, who's crossing over where, the speeches that happen. Another very important factor is what does the NCP do? Sharad Pawar's NCP, Ajit Pawar and others, what do they do? How do they, play their cards, whether they are going to support Uddhav, be with Uddhav, or they're going to say that, we don't want to be in Mahavikas Aghadi anymore, and they play their cards
Rohit, do you think there will be only one rally? Do you think there'll be only one rally on 5th October?
Frankly, I'm not in the reporting space anymore. I'm in the analysis space right now, so
yeah.
I'm not aware.
I mean, Varun is claiming that. Varun, I'm not telling you to get into whether people will park in Bandra and go to Dadar, but I'm sorry, I'm someone who suffers in traffic every day.
Tamanna,
I'm someone who suffers in Mumbai traffic every day. So
it's the ShivSena.
I'm just feeling shocked at the idea. 1 minute, 1 minute. No. I'll tell you why I'm asking. Rohit, I'm telling you why I'm asking. I'm asking from the analytic point of view that for Mr. Shinde, it's important if he's saying I'm the ShivSena, it's important for him to helm a rally on Dussehra, isn't it?
Yes. So for Mumbaikars, let's come to what is important for your viewers. I think that's what people want to know. The good news is there's going to be no violence, no trouble. It looks like Dussehra is a public holiday. Banks are closed, stock markets are closed, everything is closed. It's going to be a peaceful rally. Political, war of words will happen. Whether Shinde faction holds another rally or not, frankly speaking, I don't know. Maybe they will, maybe they won't. But it looks like, it's going to be peaceful. The good part for Mumbaikars and for everybody else is, that it's going to be peaceful because that's what the High Court has said. And today, Uddhav Thackeray instructed his, leaders and cadre and everybody else that, they have to follow that. And as usual, it's going to be a peaceful Dussehra rally. For Mumbaikars, that's very good news because in the past few days, we have seen a lot of clashes on the roads and all of that. And in the long-term future, when in November or December, whenever Election Commission calls the BMC election in Mumbai, I can predict that there's going to be, another round of clashes and disruption and all of that on roads of Mumbai. But the good part is right now we are safe. Right now we don't have any trouble, and we can just watch on TV, your channel, what Uddhav has to say to his Karyakartas or Shiv Sainiks and how it goes. And whether Shinde counters it by holding another rally or not, I don't know, frankly, right now. Perhaps he won't do that. It remains to be seen.
We'll see whether there's a rally versus rally. I'm just going to play out a clip from a statement from Sheetal Matre, a spokesperson in the Shinde camp, and just let's see what she had to say.
त्याचा आम्ही सन्मान करतो आणि कोर्टाचा निर्णय हा नक्कीच आम्हाला मान्य आहे. आम्हाला बीकेसी मैदानाची परमिशन ही ऑलरेडी मिळालेली आहे. त्यामुळे यावेळचा जो दसरा मेळावा आहे हा मोठ्या धूमधडाक्यात आणि वाजत गाजत होणार आहे. खऱ्या शिवसेनेचा मेळावा होणार आहे.
All right, so she's saying we have permissions at BKC, whether they hold a rally or not, or they use it for parking, or what happens next, we'll see. But this is step one in a long battle for Uddhav Thackeray. At least he needs to get the crowds there and keep on that legacy, a very rich 50-year-old legacy of his party. Thank you so much to all of you for joining us on the show this evening. We're moving